Hello. We're going to go over today about the pelvis and how to hold the position of your center when you're lifting your legs up and down. So, if you think of from the pelvis up to your neck, under your chin, this is the housing of the nervous system, right? Well, the crown, the skull is too, but what we're doing here is we're going to have this structure super strong so that when you're lifting your legs, that you're not straining your back and not pulling on different parts of your body. So if you look at this as the house, and the house has to stay strong, and your arms and your legs are the hurricane. They're going to try to knock it over, but you're going to have a strong house by the time you get done with this. So watch where we're going to go with this. So it's going to involve breath, it's going to involve movement, it's going to be involved on focusing and connecting. So that's what we want to do. So just so you understand the pelvis positions, we have this, what we call an anterior tilt, and the pubic bone is angling down. And then this would be neutral. And this would be where we're going to go to protect and gather everything together. In advanced stages, advanced training, you could go neutral and do this because you're going to be so strong. But this is where you're going to go right now. So you're going to gather this together. But how to get there and is sometimes difficult for people because sometimes we jam. And I'm going to bring in Jordan to assist. So after we get started. So just to remind you, that this is where we're going to go. And how are we doing that? So I'm bridging up so you can tell the pelvis is going this way, and the sacral. I'm sorry, the pelvis is going to tilt. You're going to get long through the low back, and you're going to engage in the front, and that's what's going to be happening on the floor. So when we bring our legs up, we don't just lift them because the tendency will pull. It's just to remind you. So we're going to exhale to tilt the pelvis. So now we're gathering. Now you're thinking, well, when do I inhale? Just inhale and keep your pelvis where it is. Then you can also take it back and exhale to return. So it's called a double breath. So you can exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, or you can exhale and then inhale to return. So as long as you're breathing and you have that strength coming together. Now the bottom rib, you can feel it on yourself. You're going to bring those ribs down so the ribs are on the ground too, so they're not popping. So you draw them down with your exhale, and then you tip your pelvis further, and now you have this gathering through the housing of the center of your body. Now keeping this engaged, we're going to bring that leg up without moving here. And then exhale, bring it down. Now, when do you exhale? Do you just exhale and then bring your leg up? No, you're going to exhale now. Exhale, right? And you sniff in, exhale. So while you're moving it, that's when you're breathing, and everything in the center is going to stay still. You exhale to lift, exhale to lower, right? We tend to lift and then exhale. So that's what we're trying to avoid. So we're going to tilt, and then you're going to exhale and then exhale up, exhale down, exhale down. Your inhales will be automatic. So as you can see, the structure is strong here. Now, what happens is when I bring this leg up and you try to lift this, if you're not strong through your core, the tendency is to tilt this way, right? Or arch. So that's where you practice the single leg. So the first time you do this is homework. You would practice single leg, down and up. That's it. Simple set. Exhale and down. Going back to the beginning. Neutral, you would tilt. You bring the ribs down. You're connected. You focus on one leg. Exhale. So you're using the breath to move you. You're traveling breath. Then the second, and then once you get used to doing a couple on this side and going back and forth, then you go up and you can add in and bring the other leg up. Exhale and hold. Once you have that connection, down, keep the shape in the leg if you can, and down and up. That's your exhale. Exhale. Remember, make sure you exhale before you do the movement. And so you're exhaling, beginning your exhale before you start moving. Okay, so I wanted to show you a demonstration of what happens when you over jam your pelvis. So Jordan's going to have it moving her arms out of the way so she you can see her back. And oh, actually, we're gonna keep your arms here. Jordan's going to hold her arms on her sides so that we can show what happens to the neck when you over jam your pelvis. So if she just pushes her low back down, some people don't exaggerate this much, but but she's adorable and gets away with it. Okay. So, but she's sharing with you what people do, and you end up shorting. So when you press down, it pulls this tissue back here, right? But then bring it back to center. Yeah. And then just bring your ribs down and exhale. Tilt your pelvis, just your pelvis without moving your neck. Yeah. See, now she's got this core strength here and it's strong. So you're going to exhale and bring one leg up. Exhale. Yeah. And then bring your other leg up. Exhale. Good. Strong breath. Exhale through your mouth because you're not doing that. Yeah. There you go. And then exhale to bring your leg down through your mouth. There you go. Now you're holding it. Yeah. Yeah. When you breathe through your nose and it's not holding, you have to use your exhale through your mouth because what happens, it brings in more power. Yeah. And if you're strong through the nose and you can reach that point, that would be great. But it's a good training to practice all different breaths. Got a whole toolbox for you. But this is the starter. So, as once again, it pulls that tissue. But if you tilt, and she has a good lumbar natural curve in her back. So she has to put a little effort in it without affecting her neck. So, and she did a great job. Thank you. Anyway, so that's what we're talking about to get this all connected through the core because the legs and the arms, they're going to knock your core out of place when you are out and about. When you pull a door open or you lift something, and you're just arming it, and then your core is not holding strong. That's where things happen, and that's where you get injured. So, any questions? Send me a message. Thank you.